Many kills for ZEROZONE, a really interesting stat, and I think it is very explanatory as to why they got the win. They're able to take down enemies rather than just dish out the damage. They were playing fantastic defense and, took a lot of hits, but weren't having to be pushed back into their spawn, and that's why they got the win there ultimately.
Well, we're moving extremely fast as we're onto Siege again, and now Chemical's bringing out the Frank this time, and the Primo seems to be the tank option for Kurto as he's pulled into range of the Ike. He won't be getting away from that one as Gerzera comes in with the BB to finish up.
We haven't seen Siege yet today, so as a reminder to all y'all watching at home, it's whoever busts down that Ike turret that is right around your spawn area that will get the victory. It's going to be Siege bots spawning in the center based upon which team has more bolts. So the first one is going to ZEROZONE, charging on in, but don't expect to see too much damage off of this first Siege bot. It always comes in heavier later in the game.
It's just all about getting that early pressure in mid. If you're defending, you can't be collecting these bolts, and while QLASH LATAM, they've got 3 in the pocket already. Alchemical's going to try and make sure they don't get any more. Daryl being pulled into range of the Ike. That's going to deal a hefty amount of damage and shut him down. And QLASH LATAM have given themselves a substantial bolt lead moving in for the next Siege.
Yeah, an aggressive play there by Kurto is hard punished. Nice use of the gadget by Alchemical X there. I don't know if you noticed that, but Eptic got a Gene pull and he hit Frank. But because Frank's gadget was up, it didn't move him back into that ZEROZONE spawn area. A big bot now coming on in from QLASH, level 8. And that's just about as much as you would expect from the second bot of the game. Kurto pushing back up as best as he can, but that bot is now on the Ike and punching away. That's going to be a walloping amount of damage, True.
Yeah, it's a dry robot though, Woody. There's no members of QLASH LATAM able to hit the Ike as well, so it's going to only be its raw damage, which is still impactful if left unattended, but not as disastrous as it could be if you comboed it. Daryl actually cancelling out the super from Alchemical, finishes off with a kill, but loses his life as he's pulled into Ike range. It is still QLASH LATAM with the bolt lead as all this action is unfolding. They're still capitalizing. That is until ZEROZONE start to level the playing field. Eptic will go down, not recovering that bolt at the end, so it's neck and neck. Who's going to get it? QLASH LATAM get that final bot of the game.
It's going to be QLASH moving in for the coup de grace. ZEROZONE have got no chance of coming back at this point. They're way too far down on hit points, and this is going to be the killing blow from QLASH LATAM. Victory in this first game of Siege. Well done to them.
They have it. They walk away with the first game, but we saw that happen in our life.
You're already at the psychological point of advantage.
Yeah, because you're calm and collected, and we hope to see more of that as we jump into our second game of this map. And this time, they're keeping with the BB, the Gene, and the El Primo, identical compositions to what we saw in Game 1, so it's execution they weren't happy with this time.
Yeah, cheeky early grab there from Imam. That's going to be an advantage once again for ZEROZONE, but I don't know if this bot is going to be decisive this early in the game. We do see that 2-bolt lead for ZEROZONE once again, but QLASH are right about to catch up. We're going to see the first bot coming out from ZEROZONE once again, but only at level 2. It's pretty easy to shut down, so not a decisive lead for either team just yet at this point.
Like I said, it's about getting that mid control with this early bot. You still have to defend it even though it's level 2. See, the attempt at the pull on Alchemical doesn't quite land, just a little bit too far out of range. It won't be affected by that one.
Nice pull. Wow,
but
I think so.
Imam doesn't have the super. Well, Imam doesn't have the capacity to be able to get out of that one, so he's going to die in the Ike. Oh, he's going to be over the top of the stun, unaffected by Alchemical. He even goes for the suplex and finishes off the kill. Kurto just working Alchemical in the neutral.
Denying that super from Frank. Kurto jumps in and takes out Frank. That's going to be a big lead for ZEROZONE now, pushing into the second Siege bot. They've got a 7-bolt advantage over QLASH right now, moving in now with that level 7. This is going to be a bit harder to stop. Expect to see ZEROZONE going for that steamroller push. They're going to be backing up this bot from a little bit further away, but moving back to the mid now as they see it's taking quite a bit of damage. It's all about that final Siege bot that's going to determine who picks up the win, Trid.
And 5% of damage can be dealt without the use of a Siege bot, Woody. So even if it goes to the last Siege and you don't have the bot, as long as you can defend, there is still a chance that you can actually draw this one out. Gerzera gonna not keep hold of that bolt though. It's gonna be on Ziso to pick up 3 bolts and cycle them through, giving QLASH the lead for the last Siege, and he can deal with Kurto, provided he just aims up a little bit, and he stays alive. This is surely going to be QLASH LATAM in the last Siege.
Looks like they're getting the last Siege, and that's going to be the game for them. Fantastic defenses against those first 2 Siege bots, and they've managed to bank up a ton of bolts. That bolt economy working well in their favor as they've pushed 4 into this game now and already have the lead over ZEROZONE. Those additional punches are just going to be the icing on the cake, Trid.
Yeah, Clash LATAM gonna go ahead and walk away with map number 2. So they're already bouncing back from the extremely close Brawl Ball to tie out the series, meaning we're definitely gonna be seeing another 2 maps. Isn't that great, Woody?